Welcome back. As we promised our dear viewers that we are going to tackle another important topic in this segment of our breakfast show, and it's about sports. Sports. As I said earlier in my intro, of course, it's about talents, it's about fields, it's about coaching, it's about a lot of enjoyment while we're watching or while we are practicing sports. But today, sports is also different when it comes to management, to administration, to marketing, to be considered as an industry. We do have a lot of questions regarding sports as all these things together. And we do have an expert who is going to tell us more about how to enjoy sports and in the same time to keep our sports field successful through or via distinguished management or a distinguished way to manage our sports in general here. And I'm not speaking about a specific kind of sports. No, it's about sports in general. We are very much delighted to have with us our sports expert, our sports marketing and management expert, Mr. Mohamed Mesbah. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Mesbah.
And
where would you like to start off with? Of course, the basketball success lately, maybe?
Because yesterday's success was in happiness, I can say. Because it created happiness for the people. It's the feeling when you see the people happy. And this is one of the objectives of the sport itself as we started our show. That's when we make such type of achievement, you can create a happiness. The environment maybe is not fit for that at this moment while we are facing a challenge in the country itself, but we can't forget that we can make small things make the people happy. Till now in Egypt, we are considering it or dealing with it. It's kind of one time or it's kind of achievement happen and goes. As you mentioned beginning, it's very important that we have the strategy to make it repeated, the event itself. Yesterday I was very happy while I'm seeing the fans actually in the stadium itself, that they're attending, they're celebrating. Maybe there's a kind of mistake, yes, but we can correct it. All this, if we can work in that and considering as a strategy, I think we can make a change. If the new law implemented with all this achievement we are doing now, I think it can make the people happy. It can make, and it can create business for you.
But many would say that it was just by chance. And in specific, when it comes to this basketball issue of yesterday, it was the very first time in Al Ahly's history to clinch this title, the African Championship.
Yes.
It was a marathon. It ended, I think, 68-66, something like that. And it was against this Angolan giants, Recreativo Libolo. Before that, it was 71-67. Very tight or very close range. Tariq Khairi, our head coach, said that they have done a lot to achieve this. Great. Yes. But how, as you've kindly mentioned, how we can repeat this? How we can just go from the word or the statement, it was a coincidence or by chance, to something which is going to be repeated because we are better.
Yeah, I totally agree in that. It happened by accident, as they're saying. And all what's happening in the sports happened by accident. I can confirm that. I mean in terms of managing it. It's not, there is no, only Ahly, as an, I can say, organization working in a structured way. But other clubs, except 2 or 3, which is private, they're not having the same sequence and management methodology. To achieve that and to make it happen, we can imagine that in all countries, the basketball matches, they attract fans, like yesterday. But if you have the environment, if you have the nice environment, if you have, for example, like every Friday, a nice match, people can go with their families, they can go to enjoy, we can have a club for that. This is the way we can. But to achieve that, we need a law that supports it to be a kind of organization itself. And to achieve that, we need a sponsor. So it's a kind of structure, it's a kind of direction for the country itself or for the people responsible for the sports itself. If they have such type of tool and thinking, in everywhere in the world, we are here in Egypt, even the fans are not going for football itself. But you can imagine for handball, for basketball, for all sports, we don't need 1,000 or million people to attend. Only 10,000 can attend, 5,000. It will be lovely, it can be environment. But you can imagine now today, if a small family, they have like £100 to spend, where do they spend? We're talking about money, we're talking about investment, we're talking about marketing. They're not going to watch it. But if you told them you'll find a nice environment, you'll go to see Ahly Club, and you will pay like £50 for you and for your family, you can find have small sandwiches, environment, music, they will think to go. But today, they can't rent another place. Or they prefer to stay at home. That's what I mean. As we are saying usually in the management, it's a win-win situation. You're happy because you attracted them. They're happy because they enjoy. They will take pictures. They will have fun. This happens everywhere. I don't need the other point of view to be influencing our decision. It's not the right time. To be honest, it will be never right time. When you're talking about investment, we shouldn't usually finding a reason to say no. No, it's the right time. We can start that. We can start even with a small scale and then start to grow. Not only in Cairo, by the way. It can be also in other places. It's a kind of convincing. We're having a structure or a law or a policy for that, convincing the sponsor itself that if you put your advertisements there, if you support the basketball, people will come, you'll find your brand, whatever your product is, then it can happen. It happens everywhere.
Or we can copy other experiences, world experiences. I mean, for non-Americans, as an Egyptian, for example, I know nothing about a football star, U.S. soccer football star, but I know very well about Magic Johnson, for example.
Okay.
I've grown up to hear about Magic Johnson as a star, as a celebrity. I mean, creating those celebrities is the task of one administration. I mean, the art of creating celebrities in sports, not only soccer, characters or celebrities, but other sports as well.
Yes.
When we find that in the United States, we find it in England.
That's true.
And we find it in the rest of Europe.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
And especially for the new generations.
Yeah.
They're not only infatuated by sports like soccer. I know it's very popular, but there are other games also that are attracting the new generations because of the social media and because of they are affected with other European and Western cultures. So why aren't we making the best use of this?
Because we're returning back to the core of the point. We don't have a strategy for that. We don't have the people responsible for the sports. They are good in the sports. They're not good in the management, and this is the reality. They are referring to their history as a player. It's totally different. And I repeat the same example again. The people leading the sports in the world, they are not sports people. The people creating the innovation in the life.
Is it the same way in the Western world?
Yeah, that's.
But they're doing fine.
They're doing fine because the people
they know how to invest in it.
Because the people responsible for that are business people, and it's. When I'm talking about sports, I'm talking again about industry. If we're talking about even the technology is the same. The people leading the technology, they are not technology people. They are good marketing people. So it's the same concept. The people created the smartphones and all, they're not actually technology people. They see what you need and they're trying to achieve. And this is the way we need to think. But if we are talking to achieve that, at least we need to start. We need to have a kind of structure for that. We need to have a plan. We need at least to make the people motivated to go for that. If we are talking about, at the end of the day, if I'm going to sponsor now, to sponsor a basketball team, you will think twice. Why should I do that? What's the benefit to me? This is the business angle when you're talking at the table. Why should do that?
So
people don't know that.
Sir, that we should differentiate between those sports persons and the administrative person, the admins,
or the leadership.
Those who are very much specialized in management, in administration, in marketing, in whatever. But let's go once again to the core of the sports, talents, people, how to give them the chance. Because, for example, when there is a dilemma like what we are going through these days with the transfer window of the coming weeks in January, and this substitution issue, this is something which is internationally recognized.
Yes.
Can I implement something just on half of the just the second season and forget all about what I've started in the first season? If this is going to happen, am I going to be punished by FIFA, for example? How this is going to be managed?
Actually, FIFA, at the end of the day, is supporting anything support the industry as they see it. At the end of the day, you're just stopping the critical issues. They're not such complicated as we see, except if we are breaking the law. We will not face any challenge if we face it, if we have a kind of process for it. Most important for FIFA, do you have a documentation for that? Did you agree on that? Did you get a vote on that? Sometimes we ignore that and take a decision. So we'll be in trouble. This is actually the way they manage it. Who agreed on that? Because for them, the people responsible for the football is the clubs itself, and they need to manage themselves. If we get an agreement about that, it can be happen. The interesting part as well is that at the end of the day, if we have such type of structure in what we are doing, it can be happen. And you mentioned very good example about the business people and the sports people. A lot of example in the world that they hire people from outside the industry to do the job for them. If there is a people from the industry, they are welcome, but they need to do it. They need to achieve it, not only making it complicated for the people.
Professionalism.
Exactly, we like that.
Professionalism,
100%.
but being professionals here or having professionals here, if the word or this item, professionalism, implemented well in Egypt.
In sports, actually not
Okay.
till now, because we are far from that. I can tell you that in Egypt, people saying usually Egypt as a country, and this is the Egypt. I don't like that. I hate this word because in Egypt, I can tell you a surprise. For example, the people developing the technology in the cars and it's totally different industry, thousand developer in Egypt, and they're developing technology for USA. No one can imagine that. That means it's not about the country; it's about the environment. Multinational organization is operating in a very professional way, like they're operating in US or in UK itself. I just came from London and I met the sports management team, the club for Liverpool itself. It's totally different. They're talking about organization. And in the beginning, I asked them a very interesting question. I told them, what's your objective from the Middle East? They told me, increase the fans. Very clear. When you increase the number of fans, your assets and your money goes up because you have a people can buy your item. Very simple, okay? But we're not thinking about that. When you're fan, and this has happened actually in Italy when Mohamed Salah went there. They love that because very simple, number of fans increased, T-shirts for them sold out, people trying to make a marketing, their brand is better. They told me, if you have a way that we can have more fans in the Middle East, this is our target, this is our objective. Not only Liverpool, Manchester City is the same. They're trying to attract sometimes players because they have fans. This is the way they see it. We didn't talk about football at all. We didn't talk about that. We talk about how this club as an organization can grow in the region, including Middle East. This is actually the language.
Though that we're spending lots of money.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
spending lots, we're sparing lots, a huge hefty budget here in Egypt to be able to, under the title of facilitating
Yes,
sports,
yes.
but we're not.
We are not.
Isn't
and
that a waste of money?
I can say that it's waste of money. And the interesting part, in other, I can say, succeeded stories, I can say, or role model cases, they're usually spending money to gain money. It's not only spending money. Spending money, why? They can, for example, spend a marketing campaign in Egypt, assuming. Why? It's not only a silly marketing campaign in a place where no one can see you. No, we can sponsor for something, for example, because we need to increase our fans. And then we will have a deal in Egypt with the market that we will offer, for example, Liverpool T-shirts. So you can imagine the return of the investment. We are spending collected there, but it's only spending money without a kind of structure for that. Return on investment concept is very important in sports. If I spend one, I need to give 5. I need to get them. Otherwise, I don't need to open a club. I just put my money in the bank. Such type of language is not implemented. Technology is not implemented. Today, you can imagine, if we are thinking to attend, for example, any match, we will suffer, even a simple match. Why you don't think you as a family, with your kid, just in your PC, just ordering the ticket, you receive it, and you put your information, go there, very easy access, go in. But today, if someone told me, okay, how we can get there? Oh, I hear there's a black market, out of stories, and you can't get at the end of the day. And you don't know if it's false or fake ticket or not. So you can avoid that. You don't need even to carry papers to save money. You just scan your phone or whatever, or pad or whatever, iPads, and you go in. Such type of thing. It's not tough. It's not that expensive, by the way. But it's a need of people thinking that we need to, out of the box, we need to develop this industry. It can be implemented, and this is offered a lot. such type of exchange between players. He went to the office and he found, because they opened on Friday, everything in the system. It's like FIFA concept. FIFA and UEFA is very simple. You can register the player on the internet, and there is a close time. And if you pass the close time, there is no one who will open the door for you. It's a system. It's not our business. So such type of thing, such type of initiative, but it should be people need to implement that, and very interested to grow the industry and to grow the business. They can gain a lot of money of doing that, for sure, as an organization. And if you gain money as an individual, as an organization, individuals can gain money. It's the whole mindset and concept need to be changed to implement that in EU. And at the end of the day, it will create happiness for the people.
Sure.
You can find all over the world the
That
people.
will attract tourism also.
Exactly, exactly. Sports conference is a concept itself implemented in the world. And I don't like to mention countries, even the Arab countries, they have a kind of center, they attract. We have I don't like to debate against what usually you are saying. We have a good weather, we have a good, this is reality. But what's the value of that? What is the value if you have a gold and you can't utilize it? We have gold, but you can't utilize it. If you go, for example, for a lot of places, those clubs, you need a place to be in. But they're not considering it because there's a lack of tool. If someone plays, there's a lot of safety issues and all that. So we don't need to go in Egypt. They go to a country, the weather there is worse than Egypt. And they spend money, a hell of money that. And they make marketing and they talk to the people. People not even in Europe, people within our region, the Arab countries itself. And they spend, and we hear a lot of stories of our players, they go there just for a medical treatment in Arab countries now. So it's not tough, but you can't do that. And if you're talking about thinking, usually I'm saying that if we're talking about thinking outside the box, forget Cairo. You can do it in Sharm. People can access Sharm through Sharm Sheikh Airport, and they go to this. But the people need to feel that it's safe enough and it's ready enough that they can be there. It's one of the projects, for example, and then it can happen, it can be implemented, and we have everything available.
Right, Mr. Mohamed Mesbah, the sports analyst, and critic, of course, would like to thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
And congratulations to all of Egyptians.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And I guess this is where we end this edition of The Breakfast Show. My name is Dina Sine. All the pleasure to have with me Nermeen Abdurrahman as my partner and my usual Saturday morning partner.
Thank you very much, Dina. Thank you very much,
Thanks
Mr.
a lot.
Mohamed. Thank you for your input. Have a very good day. To all our dear viewers, stay tuned only on Nile TV International, always for more updates. And for more details, please log on to www.nileinternational.net. Thanks for watching.